in here for the first game of this 3-game series. A big one it is, just 42 games left. And Kevin, the Rays continue to look for offense up and down the lineup. Last year, Evan Longoria made such a difference in this club. They're going to ask him to step up again in the closing weeks of this season.
Yeah, you know, in the last 70 games, Evans had a little bit, really, of a tough time overall. If you look at the batting average at 240, he is third in the American League in RBIs. This season overall, the numbers are solid. 24 home runs, 88 RBIs, a slugging percentage well above 500. But he's got to get real hot here the final 5.5 weeks with 42 games to go. Everybody talks about Burrow and Upton, but it's that 3 spot that's going to be huge. Josh Hamilton, his last 15 games, he's been on fire, hitting .417 with 12 runs driven in, a .600 slugging percentage. We know he had injuries, and the last time the Rays were in Texas, Hamilton was not active yet. He'd just come back after that particular trip. So this is still a very tough lineup. We talk about the young pitching that they have. We talk about the improved defense. With Hamilton in the lineup, it makes it a very dangerous offense once again.
You know, the Rays were swept by Texas in Arlington tonight. They're going to send Scott Kazmir to the mound, trying to start their way to getting even in the season series.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Scott's got to set the tone. He's coming off a very good start against the Toronto Blue Jays. As a matter of fact, in his last 3 starts at home, he's 3-0 with a 3.26 earned run average. The opponent's batting average against very good at 219. And, you know, he's pitching at about 91, 92 with the fastball, where before the injury, before he went on the DL, he was about 88 to 89. He got it to 92. Now his average is 92. The slider is much better. The changeup's there. And he's facing a young guy in Dustin Nippert on the mound for the Rangers.
Asbear's 7-7. Nippert has gone 4-1 in 6 starts and 10 overall appearances. Rays and the Rangers coming up with the wild card race on the line. We'll have the starting lineups and then the first pitch of game 1 of this series in just a moment. On Fox Sports Florida, brought to you by Checkers. Little place, big taste. By your Southeast Toyota dealer. Get all the quality and reliability of a Toyota during Toyota's Festival and Sales event. Toyota, moving forward. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Rays and the Rangers tonight. First game of the series before the first pitch. Let's go to Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you very much. Good crowd is gathered on this Friday night for the Rays and the Rangers. Let's hear from the double play combo of Tampa Bay with their thoughts on the importance of this series.
We're going to try and treat it the same way, but definitely, we know that these games count for the, for the standings of the wild card right now. They're very important games. So, Texas is ahead of us, and we really need to win these games too.
Yeah, every game right now is big, especially with these guys coming in town. We play well here. They're playing pretty good baseball right now, but this is our home, and we got to win here.
The Rangers' Michael Young says to go to the World Series, you have to go through Tampa Bay since they're the defending champions. Should be an interesting weekend, guys. Back to you.
We're looking forward to it as the Rays start this night 65 and 55. Texas 68 and 52. The Texas lineup being Kinsler leads it off, followed by Michael Young, their third baseman. Marlon Byrd hits third. He'll be followed in the lineup by Andrew Jones, the DH. Josh Hamilton in center. Nelson Cruz back off the DL. He's in right field. Hank Blaylock's at first. Taylor Teagarden will do the catching, and hitting ninth, the young shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
Scott Kazmir coming off a nice start against the Toronto Blue Jays, where he went 6 1/3 innings in a victory with 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. Overall, 18 starts this year. The ERA is still at over 6 in 97 2/3 innings, but he has been pitching much better since he's come off the disabled list.
There are the full numbers on Kazmir. He has pitched well against this Texas club throughout his career. 9th career start, the second this year. He's 4-1 against them overall. Kinsler goes after the first pitch, an opening fastball, and he fouls it back and out of play. Strike one. So we're underway tonight, right on time at 7:38.
Ian Kinsler looking for that 7th first inning home run of the year on that first swing.
He's looking for that a lot. There's a strike, a fastball, catching the inside edge.
Ties a team record with a 6th leadoff home run. He's got 11 overall in his career with the Rangers.
That's upstairs. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Foul the other way, out of play. Count holds at 1-2. Kazmir's one loss in his career to the Rangers came this year. They beat him 3-1 at Arlington. Up and away. It's 2-2. Michael Young will be next, followed by Marlon Byrd. Just underway. Here's the 2-2 pitch upstairs. So we go to 3-2. Our Toyota Trend takes a look at Kazmir's career numbers at 2.06 ERA against him. And a high popper right side into foul territory goes Carlos Pena. One away.
Take that first out right there as we look at the rest of the defense for the Rays. Carl Crawford in left, B.J. Upton in center, Gabe Gross in right field, Evan Longoria at third, Jason Bartlett at short, Ben Zobrist at second base, and Carlos Pena just saw catching that pop-up at first base. Greg Zahn behind the plate. And this defensive alignment review is brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, where saving you money is our passion.
One away. Here's Michael Young, the 6th leading hitter in the American League. Comes in batting .322. And the pitch is a strike. 20 home runs for Young. He's riding an 8-game hitting streak. It's 1-1 right now. Close to 400 for the life of his streak. And a liner into left. And there for a base hit. That pitch up a little bit. And Young has a single to extend his streak to 9. Proud to bring you this game tonight in high definition. This one as well as game 2 tomorrow and game 3 on Sunday, all in high definition. So a base hit for Young puts him at first. 1 out, and here's Marlon Byrd. Byrd, the number 3 hitter in this Texas lineup. And you know, you look at their lineup and they have some pretty good pop. Cruz, Blaylock, Hamilton, Young, Kinsler. And Byrd takes the pitch high, and yet it's Byrd who's their number 3 hitter, coming off a 2-home run night last night and their big win to close out their homestand. They beat Minnesota 11-1 and split a 4-game series. With Minnesota, Byrd hit 2 out.
Yeah, 2 high pitches, a high breaking ball and a high fastball. Jumped the yard with him.
This one is high, 2-0. And it's interesting, you see Byrd on the last homestand red hot, hitting .346. But he's a guy who in the Texas clubhouse everybody likes and admires. They like his approach to the game. He hustles all the time. Ron Washington has him hitting 3rd.
Yeah, he's had him hitting 3rd all year, and he's in a contract year, and you know, he's had 3 solid years with the Texas Rangers.
Now the count is 3-0. And he really is sort of the silent star over there, because the Texas clubhouse will tell you he's the guy, he's the glue on this club.
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about Josh Hamilton and the notoriety he got last year, of course, and Michael Young is so steady, and Ian Kinsler, but this guy you can't forget about right here.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1.
Bud Rodriguez, left of Ian Kinsler right there, holding the cup back with the Rangers. Looking young and thin.
And a move to first. Young is back in there. Kazmir threw 99 pitches in that outing he had in 5 innings against the Rangers in Arlington. That was on the 3rd of July. He was hooked up against Tommy Hunter in that game. There's a popper. Short center, right center, and Gross is there. Zobrist went out first after it. Upton coming in, and it's Gross who made the catch. 2 gone.
Had so much hang time up there, no chance for Zobrist. I mean, he could have gotten there, but that's an outfielder's ball, and it looked like it was going to be BJ, but Gross is the one that ends up calling everybody off.
Now it's Andrew Jones. He's the designated hitter. Hitting .220 with 17 home runs. He's in a 7 for 45 right now over his last 14 games. Big cut and a miss, strike 1.
Well, Andrew's been on a 3-year slump where he's hitting about .220. He started it last year in Atlanta and it carried over to the Dodgers last year, where he just could not, he couldn't even get above $150. And then this year he's got the home run power, 17 home runs this year, but the batting average is now down to .220.
And a line drive right at Bartlett, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the first. Jason Bartlett's going to lead it off for the Rays. We have no score. Bottom of the first. Here's his lineup tonight. Jason Bartlett, Carl Crawford, and Evan Longoria. Down the middle, it's Ben Zobrist, Carlos Pena, and Pat Burrow. Greg John's in there to do the catching, hitting 7th ahead of Gabe Gross and B.J. Upton.
Big right-hander, 6'8", Dustin Nippert on the mound, 28 years old, in the rotation now for good, especially with the release of Vicente Padilla.
And the first pitch is a strike down around the knees. Bartlett starts the night, 3rd leading hitter in the American League at .344. That's down. It's 1-1. He's in the top 10 in on base percentage and slugging percentage. 2 balls and a strike. The breaking ball sweeping low and outside. The 11th appearance for Nippert. 2-2. Fastball by Bartlett. He takes it inside. 3-2, and this is a typical Bartlett in the leadoff spot at bat.
Yeah, he's done a really good job in a leadoff spot, working the count and getting on base.
Pitch is fouled away. Fastball.
Nippert's coming off a good start in versus the Boston Red Sox on the 16th of August. He won the game, went 6 innings, gave up a couple of runs on 6 hits.
Three-two again. Ground ball headed toward the middle. Throw into center field. A base hit. Bartlett is aboard to start this one. Jason Bartlett picking up hit number 125 on the year. Rays have the leadoff man aboard.
I think Ranger people will tell you they're used to seeing Andrus make this play. Elvis Andrus is that good, but that ball had some top spin. He got right underneath his glove and skipped on into center field. Elvis Andrus has been very impressive defensively with his range, his accuracy. Of course, he's got a good mentor to learn from also in Omar Vizquel.
Here's Carl Crawford. And Bartlett's on the go. Pitch is down. The throw sails into center. Bartlett it's up and on his way to third. Hamilton's throw is not in time. He beat the throw. Bartlett goes to third on a steal and an error on the catcher. And the Rays have a man at third with nobody out.
Rays taking initiative immediately. Bartlett got a great jump. Quick release, but a wild throw by Taylor Teagarden away from Elvis Andrus into the runner, Jason Bartlett. Little hesitation because he had to pick up where the ball was. And Josh Hamilton closed fast. That's a good throw right there. Young takes the ball a little bit too much in front of the bag. If he stays back on the bag, I think he's got a shot at getting Jason out.
Now the 1-0 to Crawford. He takes the pitch down. So the Rays pick up the steal and a move to third on the error. So right off the bat, the Rays forcing the issue here. Ground ball foul. 2-1.
Got his average up to 321 with that 7-game hitting streak.
He's 7th in the league in hitting now. And there's a take low. 3-1. The Rays trying to jump out to an early lead. Trying to make a statement, and Bartlett made one running on the first pitch. Ground ball, shortstop. Andrus will go to first. Out there, the run scores. The Rays take a 1-0 lead. So Crawford made contact on the ground ball to pick up the run batted in.
Dwayne, I'm always a believer in taking that first run, too. The infield was back. Take the run. You don't have to have a base hit. Don't wait till the next guy does it. If you pop up, then now Evan Longoria has to do the job. So I think take it while the defense is playing back. That's just a nice contact swing to take the RBI by Crawford. I like that. How many times have we seen a guy try to get a base hit and end up popping up? And then Evan has to do the job of the sac fly, and maybe he pops up and you don't get that run in. Take the run early.
Longoria goes after the first pitch and hits a high popper right center field. Who's going to get it? Cruz makes the catch. Hamilton came in from center haltingly, and Cruz made the grab.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, if that job didn't get done there, then maybe Evan pops up. You don't get a run. Now it's 2 outs. You got to have a base hit. Here's the rest of the defense. Marlon Byrd in left. Josh Hamilton in center. Nelson Cruz in right. Around the infield, Michael Young, Elvis Andrus, Ian Kinsler, and Hank Blaylock. Taylor Teagarden behind the plate. This defensive alignment review brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket. Saving you money is our passion.
That'll be Ben Zobrist. He takes a strike. Rays hitters have limited at bats against Nippert. Zobrist is 1 out of 3 against him. And behind in the count here, 2 strikes. It's a foul back. An 0-2 fastball. Bartlett in the dugout. He has scored the run. A little bit wide. Stayed out there. It's 1-2.
Good changeup right there.
Crawford making contact to get the run home.
That's just good situational baseball right there.
There's a base hit through the right side off a 1-2 fastball. Zobrist makes the turn and hangs on.
And that's just a good short compact swing by Ben Zobrist. They tried to go right where they threw it too, and Ben was all over it. Try to go inside. They did get it inside. That's right off the inside corner there. And then turned on it. We've seen him turn on, about 21 fastballs for home runs this year. A couple opposite field. Boy, he could turn on a fastball, a pitch like that.
Well, here's Carlos Pena. Nippert made a start last August against the Rays. They got to him for 7 runs in 4 innings, and Pena, along with Upton, took him deep. Over to first, and Zobrist is back in. Game simulcast in Spanish. You can access the feature by selecting the SAP option on your television.
Watching Taylor Teagarden, a young catcher behind the plate, setting up a little bit early, kind of giving away location. See, he's already set up before the pitcher moves. You can feel that as a hitter, that he's way outside.
And the pitch is out there wide.
You can also feel it when he's underneath you as a hitter.
The start Nippert made against the Rays was over in Texas last August. And there's a high fly ball that's going to be foul. It hits one of the catwalks up there in foul territory, kicks back fair, but it's a dead ball because it hit on the foul side of the catwalk. So it's a strike, just a foul ball, and dead at the moment. It made contact up there in foul territory.
Yeah, that was third base umpire calling that immediately, a Greg Gibson.
One and one to count to Pena. Pitch is down. 2 balls and a strike. The Yankees have an early 5-1 lead on the Red Sox in Boston. They've added another one, and that's going to make it a 6-1 ball game. Wave and a miss. 2-2.
Change up right there.
That changeup is the pitch Pena hit last year, hit out for the home run over in Arlington off Nippert. But Nippert do a pretty good one right there.
Yeah, he had good arm speed on that and good location.
Zobrist diving back in. Rays with a run and a couple of hits in the inning.
Ben's got 14 stolen bases. He'll pick his spots on his own.
There he goes. The 2-2 is down. No throw, and he's in with a steal. Teagarden could not handle it cleanly. Second steal here in the first inning, pulled off by the Rays.
Hey, good pitch too, because it was another excuse me, off-speed pitch, and Teagarden rushes right there. He couldn't get the transfer. Got double dribbles right there.
So we go back the other way on the turnover.
That's right. Your ball.
3-2 the count here now to Carlos Pena, and he takes that one close down for ball 4. So good at bat for Pena. Runners now at first and second. Nippert already up to 24 pitches.
Well, now's when you need a big 2-out hit. These types of games, you got a guy on the ropes. This is when you need a guy like Pat Burrell, a veteran, to really come through and at least lay a really solid at bat on him.
Pat had a couple hits last night, 2 hits the night before, and 2 hits in the game Tuesday against Baltimore. And he goes after that fastball up. Strike one.
Yep, just you don't see Pat chase too many, especially early in the count. That ball kind of rode up on him. But he saw something straight. He said, I'm going to jump on that.
Now the 0-1. And there's a breaking ball that was high. 1-1. Zobrist is second. Pena's on first. One and two. That had a little action down on it. The count is 1-2.
Yeah, 89 miles an hour right here.
Run home, 2 men on with 2 men out. Burrell getting his first look at Nippert. And a foul ball, a breaking ball. He jumped on it but pulled it well foul.
Yeah, that was a hanger right there. Not the location Nippert wanted with the 1-2 count.
Rays trying to add to this 1-0 lead in the first. And a liner that's going to be foul. Just foul by a couple of feet down the left field line.
We've had a couple of good passes on the curve, and then this one up, and boy, he jumped all over it, hooked that foul by about 7 or 8 feet. Well, he's seen everything that Nippert throws. That's always a good sign when you've never faced a guy before.
A 1-2 pitch again. And he strikes him out with a fastball. Put a little something extra on the fastball. Rays score 1 and lead 1-0. Welcome back to Tropicana Field. We go to the second. Carl Crawford drove in the run with a ground ball. Josh Hamilton leads off here in the second inning, and he hits the ball back into left, and Crawford's going to be there to make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's check in with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, tonight's starter Scott Kazmir feels like he's throwing the ball a lot better since the All-Star break.
Throw a lot better. I'm throwing a lot more with my body instead of just my arm, so I'm getting a little bit more on my fastball. It feels like when I'm throwing it halfway up there, it gains a little bit more velocity. So that's what I'm looking to do.
Kazmir has that confidence back. He feels like he's been getting more swings and misses with his fastball instead of fouls, and that's a good sign to see number 19 having confidence in that pitch, guys.
Nelson Cruz takes a first pitch strike from Kazmir. Cruz, a big power year for Texas. His 8th in the American League. He and Kinsler tied for 8th with 26 home runs apiece. One and two. He missed the fastball.
Yeah, see, the gun said 88, but that had some good life to it. The ball jumped out of his hand. Scott's right. He's using his lower half much better. He's got better arm speed, better life on the fastball.
Inside. The count goes to 2-2.
Nothing wrong with that pitch. It's a good straighten him up a little bit. Zahn sets up way inside. That's where you want it, right up underneath the hands right there to stand him up. Make him think about something else other than out over the plate.
There's a foul ball back. Fastball.
You know, you and I were talking yesterday, Dwayne, about Zahn is the second time around catching the rotation. I think he's more in tune with what their strengths are and weaknesses and what to throw in certain counts. He's a good game caller anyway, but it always helps to catch a guy a couple of times.
Pitch in the dirt. That's given him some time not only to catch these guys, but to spend time around them in conversation with them. And he had said the first time through he's probably going to let them go with what they think they need to throw, but that's going to change over time, and I think the change will come rather quickly. There's ball 4 down and in, simply because the Rays are in this race, and in the closing weeks of the season with John's arrival, and he has the enthusiasm of a 28-year-old with the prospect of getting to the postseason again. He's 38, and of course he's already said he'd like to become the Julio Franco of catchers and catch as long as absolutely possible.
He could be.
Well, he said he didn't play much the first 10 years of his career, so he's got a lot left.
He's really 28, not 38.
Here's Blaylock lifting a fly ball into left center, slicing back to Crawford, and Caro makes the catch. Well, Blaylock goes after the first pitch and skies the other way. 2 outs.
Now, the other thing about that, I talked to Joe Madden today, and he agreed. He said I was enjoying watching him and Jeff Neiman prior to the game the other day that Neiman threw, working together in the clubhouse, talking things over how they're going to go about attacking the Orioles. And he called a great game for Jeff, and Jeff hit his spots. And the other thing I liked about it wasn't always first pitch fastball. He was calling first pitch curveball second time around the lineup. He was really mixing it up well.
There's Teagarden, the young catcher, taking a pitch high.
I think too, when a catcher calls it and the pitcher doesn't have to shake you off, and he says, well, he thinks I can throw a curveball over right here, I'm going to throw it. It gives the pitcher more confidence too, and it eliminates the doubt in the pitcher's mind.
It's a foul ball. Well, it's important, and this is a big part of Zahn's mentality. It's important for that pitcher to be the guy in charge in a one-on-one matchup with the hitter. That is, throw your pitch, challenge him to hit the pitch, and don't, as you hear the term sometimes, give in. You make the pitch and make it tough on the hitter. 2-1. Teagarden held up.
Well, you got to be convicted. It's not about, well, I was concerned I might walk the guy. He said, you know what? see if you can hit this pitch, because I'm going to throw a strike. If I miss, I miss. But when the game's on the line, you have to be convicted that you can make that pitch.
2 balls and a strike. 2-2, and I think Zahn will help to develop that in all the pitchers on the staff, that you can make that pitch. You don't have to throw the low percentage pitch because you can get it over. You can make a difficult pitch, and it's great to have a catcher who believes in you that much.
That's what pitching in the big leagues is.
Fastball fouled out of play.
You have to be able to do like what Dan Wheeler did last night, 3-2 to Wigington. You have to be able to throw a slider in a fastball count when the game's on the line to keep it right there at a 1-run game. You have to be able to do that, because every good hitter can hit a fastball. The reason you go back down to the minor leagues or you get bounced around is because you can't hit the breaking stuff.
I think John will be very good ultimately to get that done. 2-2 now, and a fly ball. This one toward right center. Upton and Gross. This will be BJ who makes the catch and retires the side. We go to the Rays second. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Logging on to the heater. That's the official baseball blog of the St. Petersburg Times. That means every day, Rays beat writers Mark Topkin and Joe Smith, 2 very hard-working young men, bring you thoughtful insight, breaking news, predictions, and more, only at TampaBay.com.
I was wondering where my old bench coach went. I haven't seen him in years.
There he is, huh? Wow.
He's still in the game.
Well, you get it in your blood, you can't leave.
Hey, I'd probably do it someday.
Pitched his on his high. 1 ball, no strikes. Zahn hitting .254 overall, .320 in a Rays uniform, including a couple of home runs. 2-0 the count. One of those homers off Roy Halladay, and the other one the pinch hit grand slam, so they have been home runs of note. He takes that for a strike. 2-1. We're just not going to get in a hurry when it comes to ball and strike calls tonight, because Tim McClellan is behind the plate, and he's very good at calling balls and strikes, but he does take his time. Kinsler at second base makes the pickup. 1 away. Rays Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express. Tomorrow she's back again. She's been waiting for this. Tomorrow night it will be Big and Rich performing the free post-game concert. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today.
Now, is that a different hat tonight with the outfit? I think it is.
Yeah, well, you've got to be coordinated.
Yeah, we know about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we know about that only because other people tell us.
That's right.
Here's Gabe Gross. The pitch is outside, 1-0.
Todd is our coordinator when we.
That's exactly
wear
right.
Sports shirts on Sundays. Yeah.
And we're going to have sports shirts Sunday because Todd has made up the schedule. Fastball by Gross, 1-1.
Yeah, I mentioned that Nippert is in the rotation full time now when they released Vicente Padilla, and the Dodgers have a need, and they picked him up, Vicente Padilla. The LA Dodgers. Kuroda got hit in the head on a line drive, so he's out for a little bit. And always find a spot for somebody, you know.
Well, particularly pitching.
Yes. Well, look at John Smoltz.
Yeah.
Cardinals grab him up right away. One thing too, I was thinking about that with Vicente Padilla. Larry Boa had him in Philadelphia, and I'm sure gave Joe Torre a pretty good scouting report on what kind of personality he had. Boy, we had heard a lot of things about missing team meetings.
Yeah, the Rangers just became very impatient with him because of that. 2-2 to the point where they said goodbye.
And that won't sit well with Ron Washington, but also Mike Maddox, who's pitching coach. Talked to Mike about that when we were in Seattle. Had him on a radio show, and then I also know that Nolan Ryan, that wouldn't sit too well with Mr. Ryan.
That's exactly right.
The most important.
That's going to go up the middle. A backhand attempt by Kinsler, but no play. And Gross has a base hit. Well, here's the reason why. And we've talked about it. Nolan Ryan over there, he's trying to change the mindset of his pitchers. And, you know, he wants guys who will answer the bell and who will show up on time and who will stay late. And they hope pitch late into games. Something Ron Washington tried to emphasize even last year with his club. And Maddox there right in line with that. Yeah,
and remember, you know this, Mike Maddox worked for Nolan Ryan's minor league club in Round Rock, Texas. Nolan owns that club. Reed Ryan, his son, was the president, and that's where Jackie Moore, the bench coach of the Rangers, and Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, got some of their relationship with Nolan Ryan. There's Jackie giving the signs to Taylor Teagarden, catcher. You saw him flashing some signs in case of a pitch out, throw over, step off. There's Jackie, over 50 years in baseball, was my bench coach, and I was a rookie manager in Texas. Of course, Nolan Ryan pitched for me in '93, so his relationship started with Nolan then, and it continued when Jackie was out of a job. Nolan gave him a job being his manager in Round Rock, and Mike Maddox was the pitching coach. So that's why these two guys were brought back to the Ranger organization. Jackie was with Houston. He was a bench coach for Cecil Cooper. He came back to Texas, and Mike Maddox, they got him out of Milwaukee. And it's made a big difference with the Ranger pitching staff.
2 strikes the count to B.J. Upton. It's upstairs. 1-2. B.J. 25 today.
Got a long way to go.
Yep. Yes, he does. Career. There's a lot of ability there. And a couple of home runs, and the series just concluded. Fouls this one the other way, slicing it out of play.
And Joe Madden talked a lot about getting that front foot down in time before the swing. Can't be caught in between. He has that little curl. He curls that front leg in a little bit. He's got to make sure he gets the foot down.
And that's one point of emphasis that Steve Henderson has emphasized with him over and over. There's Hindu. He's sort of under the radar screen, and he spends a lot of time with these hitters. Two the count. Steve Henderson.
DJ was right. It's plenty inside, good 6 inches. When it crosses that line at the batter's box, that front line is 6 inches from home plate. That's how far in that was.
Gabe Gross back in at first.
That's why
over
you
there
see,
with one out.
You know, you see some hitters that don't have a stride at all. I think of guys like Paul Molitor and Moises Alou. They don't stride at all for that reason. They definitely still had a weight transfer, but they didn't stride, but they used their hands extremely well.
Oh, he throws it away. Gross up and on his way to second. Foley's going to wave him around to third, and the Rays are going to have a man at third base with one out again. It's an error on Nippert, the second Texas error of the game.
Yeah, that's a quick throw. Just trying to take him by surprise right there. That was by Nippert. Did that on his own. That wasn't given by the catcher. He tried to just do a quick surprise move to Gross as he's on his way up to the set position. And by doing that, he lost accuracy at first base. Now it's important for DJ to make contact. A couple of errors already for the Rangers, which is unusual. That's, as we talked about, Dwayne, that's been their strength this year.
So they pull the infield in. BJ trying to make contact and fouls the fastball back 2-2. So they have Young and Andrews close on the left side. Kinsler and Blaylock on the right side. Another opportunity for the Rays. And that's down. Full count to B.J. Upton.
Two ways Nippert can go. He can try to overpower BJ with a fastball up or try to drop that spike curveball on him.
And that's low. He missed to the fastball down. So BJ goes to first, drawing the walk. Mike Maddox asking for time, and the Texas pitching coach heads to the mound. The Rays have another opportunity in the second inning. Another reminder, for a limited time, get your very own All-Star jersey autographed by Rays All-Star only through HSN. Visit hsn.com/allstars or call 1-800-284-3100 to purchase your authentic autographed jersey. Tim McClellan out to break up that little get-together.
Yeah, he gave Mike Maddox a little tap, so let's go. Mike had a lot to say right there.
Maddox might say, hey, I don't try to get you to call balls and strikes earlier.
Thank you.
It's all good. First and third, one out. Here's Jason Bartlett. Jason scored the Rays run in the first. Upton over at first, and a toss over there just to see if they could catch Upton.
Yep. I think that was Mike Maddox doing that one, saying, hey, try this third to first fake, see if we can get him. Hit BJ caught off. Teagarden's going to give a sign coming in front of home plate. Get a shot at Teagarden. Well, he was given a sign, and what that is that tells me that they're not going to throw through on BJ by doing that. When you see a catcher come out in front of home plate like that, usually with a speedy guy like Upton, they're not going to throw through. They don't want a hole in the infield there.
And the bunt is pop foul back over the screen, and that's that first and third bunt.
Yeah, not a surprise. I halfway expected that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Well, Madden likes that play. Bartlett the best at .430 with men in scoring position. And the bunt again. Down the line comes Gross. Go to the plate. Not in time, and the Rays get the run. Well, if you don't succeed the first time, try again, and the Rays did. Bartlett put it down He's successfully aboard and gets the run home to make it 2-0.
Yeah, when Joe Madden has the right combination, a guy like Bartlett who can definitely bunt and a couple of guys that can run, especially BJ at first, but Gross got a good jump off the third base, read the bunt perfectly. When he's got, see, Teagarden should be back on the plate. See, he came out in front of the plate. You should be way back here. Stay on that, guys. You should be back here, not in front of the plate. When you do that, you allow the runner to see the back half of the plate. So that's a mistake by the young catcher, too.
So the Rays execute that play to perfection. Still only one out, and now here's Crawford. The pitch is wide. 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, Dwayne, when I say that, it's not a knock on the young catcher. Somebody probably told him that's the way to block home plate. So that's how he learned as a youngster. But that has to be corrected in the big leagues. There's so much teaching going on in the big leagues today.
Upton with a start, and now a throw back, and they have him caught in a rundown. Andrews tries to get the tag, and now he's going to be called out for moving outside the baseline, trying to get away from the tag. And Upton is caught off second base, and Madden wants to talk it over with Andy Fletcher.
Well, you've got 3 feet. Once you start from where the rundown is, as a base runner, you've got a 3-foot width. You've created your own baseline. So if he's outside of that, and I'm not so sure he was, let's see if we can get the baseline angle perhaps. See, your angle is 3 feet from where he's starting to run. And I think that's what Joe Madden's arguing right there.
Yeah, we'll take another look at that, because it's going to go as a caught stealing, but Madden just thinks that he made a mistake on that call.
Now you could freeze it like right about when he's about to tag him, right here. Okay, so he'd already established his baseline. Now you've got 3 feet combined from this distance to this distance. You tell me, is that 3 feet when he tags him? Is he beyond 3 feet? I don't think so. I think he's within the 3 feet, and he avoids the tag. I think that's a good play by BJ, and he did a straight line to the back of the bag. So see where the umpire was. He wasn't in line where BJ was.
Yeah, he had a different angle.
He's on the inside on the grass side, but that's his judgment. I mean, it's a judgment of is it 3 feet or not. Just because he avoids the tag doesn't mean he was beyond the 3 feet. And that's what Joe Madden went out and argued about.
Crawford misses the pitch, and it's 1-1. So it goes as a caught stealing. BJ had started a move off second base toward third when Nippert went back there. So it's a 1-6-5-6 caught stealing.
And one thing now you've got to concern yourself the rest of the series. If you're the Rays, you lock both of those things in. First and third, they're going to fake that first play, and they're going to do the inside move with runners at second. So you got to be aware of that. Those two things, which that's good. It happened early in the series, because now you go, okay, guys, you have to have your meeting about that and alert your base runners about that. And I'm sure that's what Mike Maddox went out there and reminded Nippert. Don't forget about your inside move. Don't forget about your third to first fake, because the Rays like to run. They're aggressive early. Even though you get those things in your scouting reports, that's a good reminder here early in the series for this weekend.
Bartlett's on the move. The pitch is popped up to the left side. Young backpedaling, makes the catch to retire the side. The Rays settle for the 1 run. We're through 2. They lead 2-0. We go to the third, 2-0 Rays lead. Join the 2010 season ticket priority list. Ensure the best seats and get all the great benefits of Rays baseball, including postseason ticket opportunities. Call 888-FAN-RAYS. Elvis Andrus, the young shortstop, leads off. No ball, no strikes. He took the first pitch, a fastball down. Scott Kazmir comes right back with a strike, and it's 1-1.
Young kid that jumped AAA, was in AA Frisco, Texas last year.
On Hopper to second, and a nice pickup by Zobrist. That's not as easy as you might think right there. And he throws out Andrus.
And you know why, I think? Because he relaxed. He didn't panic when he saw that bullet hit right at him. He kind of relaxed. He just backed up to his left a step to get a better hop, a pickable hop, and he did it. Nice play.
Well, for a guy to play all over the place as he's done. I mean, how many guys really successfully make a move from right field, where he's played a lot this year, to second base and handle as many plays as he has? Of course, he was a shortstop coming up through the minor leagues with Houston and the Rays, but boy, to move around and play as well as he has at skilled positions has been so good for the Rays. Kinsler hits the 1-0 pitch into center. Upton is there. 2 gone.
No, you're right. I remember a play a while back. He hadn't played right field in a while, and right away, I think it was in the first inning, he threw somebody out at home plate on a bullet. I mean, a strike. Remember that one? I mean, and he hadn't been out there in a while. He has really created some kind of value for himself and for this Rays ball club, and for Joe Madden. I mean, what a luxury to have a guy like Ben that can play anywhere. Of course, Inaki, unfortunately, getting hurt, he slips right into the second base job.
Here's Michael Young. Fastball and that big cut and a miss. Strike 1. Young trying to get a run back with one swing right there.
Yeah, he can hit that high ball too. Saw him jump on a high changeup for a base hit in the first inning.
2 strikes with a foul ball out of play. Ground ball back to the mound. Got him with a little change up there on the comebacker. And that's a quick inning. 2-0 Rays.
Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Hey, he's got the headphones. He just needs a microphone.
That's Todd's assistant, I think. He needs an assistant.
There you go. Evan Longoria opens the bottom of the third. First pitch is in there for a strike. Evan out on a fly ball to right his first time. Toward right center field, and Nelson Cruz made the catch out there. That one caught the corner. Breaking pitch. 0-2. Dustin Nippert, 28-year-old right-hander on the hill. Slow. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Rays with this series wrapping up a 9-game homestand. Ground ball third, and that ball takes off on Young. Winds up over the bullpen mound, chased down by Bird, and into second base goes Longoria. Well, he backed up on that, and that turned out to be a big mistake.
Yeah, it had big time top spin. Should be a double. They put, I see that big top spin on that big hop. Really, that's all Young could have done. Tried to read it and said, well, maybe I can get it on a longer hop, and it just ticked off his glove. Michaels.
So that's a double for Longoria, his 35th. And boy, did that ball have a life of its own.
Boy, that big time top spin right out in front of the plate.
Here's Ben Zobrist. He takes a strike. I'm going to say, with the Rays wrapping up their homestand for Texas, this is the beginning of an 11-day, 10-game road trip. Ground ball right side. Kinsler will make the play to first, and over to third goes Longoria. Zobrist got that ball to the right side.
And watch him break his wrist right here. He did it on purpose. He made sure he got it to the right side. That's just execution. Here's your four-hitter. Watch this. Contact point. That ball's away, and watch him break his wrist intentionally right there to pull it over here. Rolled over. See that little top hand right there? He did that intentionally. How many four-hitters you see do that? Give themselves up for Carlos Pena to try to drive a run in. That's big-time execution right there.
You know, those are the kinds of at-bats that really good teams have up and down the lineup.
That one word for me, unselfish. Most guys say, well, I want to drive the run in. Well, they were going to stay away from him, and Ben made sure, you know what, I got a job to do. I got to get him over to third base. We got to take each opportunity that comes our way.
Now here's Carlos Pena. Swing and a miss, strike one.
And now Carlos's job is not to hit a home run. It's his job to make sure he makes contact, number one. If he can get it in the air, preferably, because the infield's playing up short, try to cut a run off at home. But definitely short enough to take the sac fly. Got to make contact.
He takes one low. 1-1. Pena had a good at bat his first time up, drew the walk, worked the count all the way out, and then walked. The Rays have made Nippert throw some pitches here in the early part of this game. He made 30 pitches in the first inning, 23 in the second. But a couple of errors committed by the Texas defense as well. He's at 61 right now in the pitch department. Ground ball, that's foul outside of first. Now 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch. It was a fly ball pitch. Carlos just got out in front of it because it was a hanging breaking ball. Where he's really got to shorten up here now. Try to use the field. Shoot one to left center.
A ball, 2 strikes. checks on a pitch up. Fastball. 2-2. Rays with a run in the first, a run in the second. A man at third with one out here in the third. Two. Swing and a miss. A fastball, and Nippert gets a very big strikeout.
Good fastball, but it was a very hittable pitch for Carlos. That's 95, but it's right down the middle. But see, too big a swing right there. Underneath it, too big a swing. Uppercut. That's where he's got to just stay on top and shoot at the left center.
Well, it's Pat Burrell now with 2 outs, trying to pick up Longoria down at third. The pitch drops in, a first pitch breaking ball. Strike 1. So Nippert got a big strikeout and threw that breaking pitch for a strike on the first delivery to Pat. Foul ball back, a fastball. 0-2. Matt Garza looking on. He'll be pitching tomorrow night. Oh-2. Popped up, foul. Blaylock chases, but he'll run out of room. Count still 2 strikes. Burrell got behind in the first inning and struck out on a fastball. I did see a number of pitches from Nippert. Behind 0-2 here in the third.
Yeah, they went up on Pat with fastballs. He chased a couple in that particular at bat.
And a swing and a miss. He's out on strikes off speed. That retires the side. We're through 3, 2-0 Rays. The fourth, the Rays lead 2-0. Time for the Aflac trivia question. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Which Rays player holds the franchise record for most home runs in a single season by a switch hitter? Marlon Byrd leads off the fourth. 1 ball, no strikes. Byrd, the number 3 hitter, then Jones and Hamilton due up. Pitch in on him. pops him up right side, foul ball, and Pena makes the catch. Nice pitch there, a fastball in on Bird.
Zahn shook his head before that and then called the same pitch. And what he was trying to get Kazmir to do is shake his head so Bird would think it was a breaking ball coming. And he came right back in with the 2 fastballs in a row, and he got the pop-up. That's good thinking right there.
Now Andrew Jones. Pitched too low.
Here's what I was talking about by Zahn. See him kind of looking around, and he's waiting for Bird to get ready, and watch him. He's shaking his head, and then he goes back in with the fastball.
There's a strike. Breaking pitch, slider.
Little subtleties.
They mean a lot. He's hanging around back here. Minding my own
Bird.
business.
He's watching the Jones now. Let's set up. Fastball away, little finger like that way.
A big cut to miss. 1 and 2.
And the reason that you watch the hitter in case he makes an adjustment from at bat to at bat, and you remember as a catcher, if that guy sets up away from the plate, now he's kind of cheating over the plate, gets back a little closer. You remember those things. That tells you what he's looking for.
Swing and a miss. So he strikes out Jones. First strikeout of the game for Kazmir. 2 gone in the 4th. And we talked about this briefly the other night, but with a guy like Zahn back there, it can actually become fun to pitch.
Oh, he makes it fun. Yeah, I mean, game calling, being a catcher my whole life, that was the most fun. It was just calling a game and seeing everything work because you feel like you were part of the master plan as a catcher. You take more pride in that. The defensive catchers definitely take more pride in that than they will getting 2 or 3 hits.
Josh Hamilton takes a strike.
I mean, the pitcher does the execution, but you feel like you've guided him along the way. And especially if they don't have to shake you off very much, you feel like you're totally in sync.
Chop out to Zobrist. Oh, he drops it, picks it up, and the throw to first in time. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rangers. Bottom of the 4th coming. 2-0 Rays. It's 2-0. The Rays lead the Texas Rangers. Time to get the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Which Rays player holds the franchise record for most home runs in a single season by a switch hitter? Jose Cruz Jr. and now Ben Zobrist, 21. Zahn going after the first pitch, lifting a popper back foul. That'll be out of play. 1 strike. Zahn grounded out to the second baseman Kinsler, his first time. downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. He's on with his 8th team in his career. He's 38 years old. And he will tell you that the first half of his career was not as impressive as he would like as a catcher. 2-2 of the changeup. He's out front. But he said when he got to Houston, spent some time with the Astros, he ran into Brad Ausmus, and he said, boy, if you want to see a guy run a pitcher's meeting, he says Ausmus just takes over, and he learned a lot from him. Thrown out here young to Blaylock, and that's the first out in the 4th. And you know, Ausmus was not a guy who was going to hit a lot, but boy, every pitcher loved to throw to him.
You know, I ran into Greg the first day he got into Seattle and joined the club downstairs in the morning, and he was on his way to the ballpark to get fitted and get his gear set and all that. So he was going out early. And we were talking about that. He goes, I didn't always have that where I was engaged behind the plate like I should have been. I learned from Brad Ausmus one time I was with him in Houston, which I had never heard that before. I didn't know that.
Here's Gross. Fly ball towards short center. Hamilton makes the catch in front of Cruz. So 2 outs in the 4th. If you're traveling and can't watch the Rays, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. Features 100 out-of-market games per week right there on your computer, and you can catch the games you missed on demand. Visit RaysBaseball.com for more details, where baseball is always on. We lose B.J. Upton. B.J. with his admirers here on his birthday. He's 25 today. Lifts a fly ball right field. Cruz backing up a few steps, and it's a 1-2-3-4 for Nippert. Through 4 on to the 5th. 2-0 Rays. Florida is brought to you by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. By Gulf Coast Honda. Visit GulfCoastHondaDealers.com to find great deals on fuel-efficient Hondas. And by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Nelson Cruz opens the 5th inning. First pitch, and there's a liner out to second, caught by Zobrist. So that is out number 1. That's the 50th pitch of the night, thrown by Scott Kazmir.
I don't think they had him played right.
No.
I think Ben could have been over about 1 more inch.
Look at that. The Yankees now have a 9-1 lead on the Red Sox in the top of the 5th inning. Hank Blaylock. He takes a strike. Blaylock hitting 242. He's hit 23 home runs, 0 for 1, so he's at 241 right now. There's a foul ball, and they're a little mystified by Hank Blaylock's development. You know, one thing, he's walked only one time since the All-Star break.
Oh my goodness. 23 home runs. Oh, good pitch.
1-2.
Good effort.
That's strike 3. Fastball out there on the corner.
That was interesting to watch because Zahn knew it was strike 3 because Tim will tell the catcher before he does the hand motion. Watch Zahn. That's a great pitch. He knows it's strike 3 because Tim's voicing it right there. And now we see the delay. It's almost like a 3-second delay, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Satellite delay or something. What a great pitch. But the catcher knows because Tim will voice it to him.
Taylor Teagarden. And the pitch is a strike, a fastball. How about this? Casimir is 2 outs into the 5th inning. He's made 55 pitches. Pitch is high. Now, this is what the Rays have been talking about for so long with Kaz, because it gives him an opportunity to pitch deeper into games. And you know, the Rays, after using 5 pitchers last night, you know, could use a start where they could get 7 innings out of their starting pitcher.
He's in pretty good rhythm and he's working fast. He's pitching with an air of confidence. Look at that, a couple of 8-pitch innings. This one's 8 so far.
Fly ball to left. Crawford makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning. That's 11 in a row retired by Casimir. 2-0 Rays. He's hit, stole second, went to third when the throw went through into center field. Carl Crawford hit the ground ball to short. That got Bartlett home. The Rays in the 2nd inning manufactured a run. Gross had singled, went to third on the errant pickoff attempt. Then with Upton at first, Bartlett put down the bunt, and Gross beat the play to the plate. Meanwhile, Scott Casimir has thrown 5 shutout innings, allowing 1 hit and 1 walk. And the Rays lead 2-0. They come into bat in the home half of the 5th. Top of the order, Jason Bartlett takes a breaking ball, and that's too low. 1 ball, no strikes. Bartlett, Crawford, and Longoria against Dustin Nippert, 28-year-old right-hander out of West Virginia. 2-0. Going to be a strike, 2-1. Nippert spent some time on the disabled list with a back strain. This one is down, 3-1. So overall, this is his 11th appearance and his 7th start. Strike, full count.
That's smart right there. He's taking all the way. Going to make Nippert do it again. That was just a fake bunt right there. He's just going to make him throw 2 strikes like that.
3-2. Pop down the right side toward the bullpen area. That ball's going to fall out of the reach of Blaylock, Kinsler, and Cruz.
You know, that's acting as a leadoff hitter right there, what Bartlett was doing, because he is leading off this inning, and a lot of guys would have been ready to hack 3-1 on that fastball, but he ran up the bunt. That was just a fake. He's trying to work the count. He's trying to do a couple things, get that pitch count way up, and he's trying to get on base. He's not thinking about, I have to have a base hit.
Well, Bartlett aware that in the 4th inning, Nippert only made 7 pitches.
That's right. Exactly right.
3-2. And a shot into right field. Cruz backing up and is in line, making the catch. That is the first out in the Rays half of the 5th.
Good at bat.
Don't forget the Rays Stuff the Bus school supply drive. It benefits Campbell Park Elementary. Drop off your school supplies during Rays home games on this homestand here at Tropicana Field. They're taking them at either gate 1 or gate 4. That'll be through Sunday. Call 888-FAN-RAYS if you need more details. Here's Carl Crawford. Pitch is upstairs, a high breaking ball. The Yankees have added a couple more. Now it's 11-1 New York over Boston at Fenway. 2-0. The Rays started this game 4 back in the wild card race. Texas 1 back. Two balls and a strike.
Teagarden stood up. He almost took that pitch away from Dustin Nippert because he took it out of the zone.
Ground ball, first base. Blaylock's going to make it unassisted. So 2 outs. Well, that's 8 in a row retired by Nippert. Kazmir's retired 11 in a row.
How about the dramatic difference between the Rangers starters from a year ago? They were 29th in baseball with a 5.51 ERA, and this year they're 10th in baseball. They're 3rd in the American League, the starting staff. 0.30 run average coming in as a group.
Yeah, and overall they're 4th in the American League.
Incredible.
A hard hit, one hopper off the glove of Andrews and into left. Noah Longoria hit a shot right there. He's hit a couple of those tonight. He got his double past Young, and there's a base hit past Andrews. 2 pretty good defenders.
Yeah, that was a bullet right there off of Andrus' glove. No chance. His chance was if he picked it. If not, he wanted to save his face. So he's trying to backhand that. That had some topspin on it too.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
No. Want to finish the season healthy.
Here's Ben Zobrist. And 1 hit and 2 at bats. And the slow curve drops in. Strike 1. And up to 290. The 21 home runs. Starts to go. 1-1. Well, we saw on our Aflac trivia question. He's tied with Jose Cruz Jr. for the club record home runs by a switch hitter. Only Mark Teixeira and Kendry Morales have hit more home runs in the major leagues as switch hitters than Zobrist. There's one high and deep down the right side. That baby's gone. Home run. Ben Zobrist hits his 22nd home run, and the Rays lead 4-0. Zobrist right down the right field side, hits it out. Longoria scores in front of him.
Take a look at this pitch from Nipper. That's the breaking ball down and in. It's like he tried to backdoor it. He did. He tried to go backdoor. He missed location by about 12 inches. Down and into Ben's swing. Waits nicely. Great extension. And keeps it fair.
So the Rays add 2 more, and now they lead 4-0. To Zobrist with number 22.
There's your power hitter giving himself up in the 3rd inning, rolling over the right side intentionally, and then homering here.
Here's Pena, high drive to left, all the way to the wall. That's gone. Opposite field home run for Pena on the very next pitch. Zobrist and Pena have gone back to back. That's number 32 for Carlos. It's 5-0 Tampa Bay. So Pena to left after Zobrist went out to right.
I was going to say, Carlos has had 3 at-bats, and he's done what he's done all year. He either walked, he struck out, or he homers. He's done all 3 tonight. We'll take the homer.
Here's the Amscott replay.
That's a nice short swing. That wasn't a pull off the ball swing. That was a nice short swing and a ball out over the plate. Didn't try to pull it, went with it. That's how strong he is.
So Pena following the home run by Zobrist, and here's Pat Burrell. He takes a breaking ball low and outside. So just like that, a quick explosion, and the Rays have a 5-run lead. Into the dirt. 2-0.
Of course, one thing about the Rangers, they have no pitch count. I talked to Mike Maddox. There is no pitch count. They don't. It's not 100 pitches or 105 or 110. It's whenever the pitcher gets tired in their mind. That's when they come out.
3-0 now. You know, Nippert had given up 3 home runs in 43 innings. He gave up 2 home runs on 2 pitches here in the 5th. 3-0 to count to Pat. There's a shot back into left field. Bird will go back in front of the track to make the catch. That retires the side. The Rays score 3. One coming on a 2-run blast by Ben Zobrist. The other one coming on a solo home run from Carlos Pena. And the Rays lead 5-0. back-to-back in the bottom of the 5th. We go to the 6th. The Rays lead 5-0, and that first pitch is a strike as Andrews ran up on it to bunt. Kazmir with a couple strikeouts. He's given up a hit and a walk as he opens the 6th inning. Pena's home run, by the way, is 32nd, so he takes over the home run lead in the American League. Mark Teixeira of the Yankees has 31. Pitch is down. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Mark Teixeira is 3 for 3 tonight, but no home runs.
There you go.
92 RBIs. He's got 3 RBIs tonight. He's got 92 of those.
There's a looper into left center. Falling for a base hit. Crawford up with it. So that stops the string. 11 in a row retired by Kazmir before he gives up a leadoff single in the 6th inning. Now they'll swing back around to the top of the order. Here is Ian Kinsler.
When you want to keep the momentum on your side now, too. No let up just because you got a 5-run lead. This is still a very potent Ranger offense.
The pitch is a strike. Interesting. They have sort of a quick strike offense. They don't walk a lot, but they're second in the league in home runs.
Yeah, they're way down in on-base percentage. They're 12th.
Yep.
322 as a club.
Put away. It's 1-1.
They do have a lot of first ball hitters, a lot of first ball fastball hitters. I don't know too many first ball curveball hitters.
No.
I know a lot of first ball fastball hitters.
Absolutely.
Although I had one in Texas. Dean Palmer, you threw a get it over curveball first pitch, home run. Threw a put away curveball, 2 strikes, different story. But you just try to get one over. He was all over that.
I remember, you know, if you're a kid, you couldn't hit when you read books about hitting it. George Sisler once, I was a kid reading what he had to say about that, and he always thought if a pitcher had a pretty fair breaking ball, that most hitters are just going to take that first pitch if it's got a wrinkle in it.
Yeah.
But be careful with it.
Yeah, Dean was great at that. I mean, that was by design. He'd see that ball up, and he knew when they were just trying to get a breaking ball over ahead of the count early. And he could launch it to dead center too. He had quick hands. He pulled a lot of home runs foul too. He was so quick. Couldn't keep it fair many times.
2-2 to Kinsler, and he shoots it foul the other way. Out of play.
Dino may be listening tonight. I think he lives up in the Tallahassee area. Still.
Yeah, he had some kind of power.
Oh, man.
Some impressive
good shots. Real good guy. You know, he went over to Iraq and met the troops in Afghanistan last year. He came on a radio show. We talked about that, and he was all for it. He wanted to go meet the troops, people, men and women over there.
Well, anything you can do for them.
For our freedom, yeah, absolutely. Went with a group of Major League players.
There's a high popper. Zahn out from back of the plate, but Longoria's going to run him off and make the catch. So that is the first out here in the 6th inning. They look ahead at the Buick Pontiac GMC Dealers Road ahead. Matt Garza against a very good-looking young pitcher in Tommy Hunter tomorrow on Fox Sports Florida. Our coverage begins at 6:30. David Price and Scott Feldman Sunday afternoon. We'll be with you at 1 o'clock on Sun Sports. So we've got some very good pitching matchups in the next 2 games of this series. So you want to see some good baseball. It's going to be good anyway, but now a block by Zahn, and holding on as Andrews down at first. 1-0. 2 very good matchups tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and all 4 of those names you just saw, those are 4 good young pitchers, because you know the Rays are young. You got 4 starters in the rotation or 25 or under. And Shields is young too. I mean,
yeah, he's the old guy at what, 27?
Yeah, ancient, right? Wow.
2-0. Now remember when 27 was old?
Oh yeah.
Two balls, no strikes. The count here to Young. Up the right side toward the line. That ball is a fair ball. Will bounce out of play for a double. Andrews will stop at third. A two-base hit for Young. That's his second hit tonight. So he will have collected 2 of the 3 hits allowed by Scott Kazmir.
That's a pretty good pitch. I mean, they tried to go in. Look at Michael bring his hands in and go that way. He didn't try to turn on that. That ball was in. That was a good pitch. That's exactly where Zahn wanted. That's just a great piece of hitting by Michael Young. That's what makes him so tough. That's why he's a 300 lifetime hitter. Tough to defend.
So now 2 men in scoring position, and here's Marlon Byrd. He's 0 for 2, but you look up and down their lineup for a guy who hits with men in scoring position. There's an opening fastball for a strike. And he missed that one. Byrd has been very good. 320 with men in scoring position this year.
Boy, he tried to take a quick one there too. He doesn't walk much either. He's got 22 walks coming in. And that ball had some tail action to it. 92 with some fade. Good action right there by Scott.
And a foul ball and another fastball. 0-2.
Now they've come in twice in the first 2 at bats for pop outs. Jammed him in the first, he popped out to right. Jammed him in the fourth, he popped out to first. So Bird's got to be thinking in, so you got to be a little bit careful too if you try it again. He may try to cheat on you.
And this one time called, and it goes all the way to the backstop as McClellan cleared out of there. It's a good thing he did. No pitch.
And Zahn wasn't ready for it. Scott did the right thing because he was already ready to launch, and you don't want to stop. You might hurt yourself. That's why he let it go.
That's why it should be standard operating procedure for those umpires just to clear out of there.
Yeah, look at that ball tail. I like the action we saw on that one. So Zahn didn't. He wasn't ready.
Yeah. Well, hey.
But Scott, see, he looks down before he picks up the target, so he wasn't aware the time was actually called.
Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You don't want to go to the well too many times. Bird's got some power. He's got 14 home runs, and he can turn on you in there. You've got to, unless you get in there really good, like you did the first 2 times. Like you could throw that strikeout slider. Be a good time to do it.
The 1-2. And he fouls this one out of play.
A little protection swing there.
Kazmir got the count running in his favor. 1-2 now.
If you could pound a hard one at his back foot slider, you can maybe get a punch out here.
Bird again getting time.
Zahn wants to be sure. Now they had disagreement on the last pitch too. Zahn did not want that pitch up and away. He went through the same sequence twice. Scott shook him off twice to get to that fastball away. And you see Zahn shaking his head. Yeah, this is good. Zahn's disagreeing. He said no. And then he told Scott what he feels. This is a big sequence right here.
2 men on with 1 out. Runners second and third. 1-2 the count to Marlon Byrd.
I just think you got to be careful trying to go in a third time with a fastball.
Swing and a miss. He came back and got him. All of those fastballs, and then he had him out in front.
Yeah, that's the right call right there. That's good communication because he had pounded fastball, fastball, fastball. It's an off-speed pitch. I think it was his changeup. Yeah, look at him carry it because Zahn was setting away for a changeup. He carried a little bit. It still was off speed though, with 75 miles an hour. But that's the right call. I just thought he'd gone so many times fastball. Bird was looking on that to cheat on it.
Yeah, he tied him up with a changeup.
Yeah,
he really.
It ran across the plate, but it was a changeup. It was a good one too.
And here is Jones taking the first pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Is there such a thing as a backup changeup?
Well, I think we just saw one.
Zahn was sitting away, and he was looking for that fading action down away at 75. Instead of cut, it was a cut changeup.
Yeah, that's it. He just invented a new pitch, folks.
Sure did. Effective.
2-0 now. The count to Jones.
Be careful here too. There's one pitch Jones can hit. He can still hit a fastball over the heart of the plate. Especially in this count.
And it's away. A fastball off the plate. 3-0.
And the answer is yes. Will he be swinging 3-0? Yes. He will be. Pushing 400 career home runs. He will be.
Fouls it back, a fastball.
Good thing it was away. The reason he's swinging 3-0 is because he's been a home run hitter all his life. It might be the best fastball he sees. Look at that big swing.
But yeah, and Zahn got part of that backswing
sure
too.
Did. Yeah, huge swing right there. But good action on the four-seamer. Had some fade to it.
The count. He chased one there. Staying away. Now it's full.
Yep. Andrew looking for that 3-run. Look at the tailing action of that. That's a good pitch. That's a great pitch. You might as well go out there again. Let it work for you. Go off the outside corner again. You can't reach it.
3-2. And strike 3 call. He changed up on him 3-2 and got him looking. Texas leaves 2 in scoring position. The veteran Zahn helped him through, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. The bottom of the 6th inning. For all the latest updates on the Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse and everywhere in between, you'll get in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com. Willie Ayer is the new pitcher, making his 8th appearance. Right-hander, the brother of the lefty Scott Ayer. The Rays will have Greg Zahn stepping in against the Texas right-hander.
Well, that was worth talking about. That Zahn and Kazmir combination to get out of that inning. That was just great communication to get Bird on the changeup and get Andrew Jones on a 3-2 changeup.
Pitch is down. 1-1. Well, there's some experience at work right there to get Kazmir out of that tough spot. Kazmir had to execute, but he had a big assist from the man at the plate right now.
That's a big momentum changer too, because it keeps it on the Rays side. I mean, you know, Rangers could have got back in the game. Not that they're out of it. There's a lot of baseball left still. 9 outs of offense for the Rangers, but that to get out of that unscathed, no runs, that was huge. Great execution by Scott Kazmir.
Zahn takes one away, and now it's 3-1.
Now you get another point or two. It's, you know, you really make it tough for the Rangers.
Ayer in relief of Nippert, who pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, 7 hits, couple of home runs. Zahn draws the walk. So a man at first with nobody out. And we'll check in with Todd Callis.
Well, Dwayne, this is the first time that Greg Zahn has caught Scott Kazmir, and before the game, these were his thoughts as to their game plan.
He's going to have to mix his pitches tonight. He's going to have to be ahead in the count a lot against this club. It's not a good recipe when you're behind in the count to these guys, because they usually find a good pitch to hit and they get after it. But you know, he's aggressive, and hopefully I can, you know, coax him into making some quality selections, and then, you know, in turn making quality pitches.
So far so good, guys.
Well, right on time with that comment. Gross hits a fly ball to Hamilton in center for the first out. 1 on, 1 out. He coaxed him just fine in the top half of the 6th inning.
A couple of words there, Greg said. Quality selections. That's what that conference was on the mound there before he struck out Bird. And then quality pitches was what Scott Kazmir made, because he had quality selections.
Here's B.J. Upton. This pitch is down. 1 ball and no strikes. Willie Ayer out there. His middle name is Mays. Willie Mays Ayer.
Yes, I know who his dad liked.
Well, the runner takes off on a delay, and Zahn is out. So he's caught stealing. 2-4 right there. As the count up and goes to 1-1. You know, the interesting thing about that, his mother named him. And she named him after Willie Mays because his father was a Dodger fan, but he was gone all the time because he loved to play softball so much.
Oh, so the mom did it,
And
huh?
so his mother says, "Oh, you're a Dodger fan? I'm naming this guy Willie Mays. Take that."
That's great.
Kinsler under it. So Upton is out of there, and that retires the side. We go to the 7th, 5-0 Rays. Time for the What Do You Know? Brought to you by Radio Shack. Did you know that Andrew Jones was the youngest player in MLB history to hit a home run in a World Series game? 19 years, 5 months, and 27 days old when he homered in the '96 World Series with the Braves versus the Yankees. Josh Hamilton out in front on what appeared to be a slider, maybe, and grounds out to the right side. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 7th.
See, that's what Greg Zahn did the other day with Jeff Neiman. The second, third time around the lineup, he started calling some other pitches besides the fastball first pitch. And that's what that was to Hamilton. Breaking ball. Slider.
Here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz has walked and lined to second, and he takes a fastball for a strike. One ball, 1 strike now. Got that one in on him and pops him up right side. Who's going to be there? It's Gross to make the catch. Fastball in, and Cruz hits a pop fly to short right field.
Yeah, another good sequence. He got a fastball away for strike 1, missed with a changeup away, and then fastball in on the hands for the pop out.
Two outs in the 7th. And a fly ball toward the left field line. Crawford closing. He's got it. It's a quick 7th inning as Blaylock is out. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-0 Rays. The AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. It will be the top of the order for the Rays in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-0 Tampa Bay. Jason Bartlett in the batter's box, and he goes after the first one, lofting a pop fly short center. Hamilton in, and he makes the catch just off the bill of the cap of Elvis Andrus out there, racing out from shortstop. Hamilton came in from center to grab it.
Fortunately, there wasn't a big-time collision right there. Hamilton, see if he's calling it. He's not saying anything. Didn't say a word. That's Hamilton's fault right there. He didn't say a word. So Andrus, his job is to keep going until he hears the outfielder call him off. Looking at that shot, didn't see Josh Hamilton open his mouth to say anything.
Now Carl Crawford fouling one the other way. Carl 0 for 3, but has a run batted in tonight. That came on a ground ball in the first inning and gave the Rays the early lead. One and one.
So that's the story of Willie Mays' error. Huh? I love that.
That's it.
The mom,
apparently
his mom did that.
She didn't like the idea that he was away playing softball all the time, and said, "Here, take that. You're a Dodger fan. Your son's going to be Willie Mays' error."
That's beautiful.
That's a foul ball, and the count is 1-2.
Best player I ever saw. I was fortunate as a kid to see him play, Willie Mays. Best all-around player I've ever seen.
You know, I heard a recording of Leo DeRocher talking about that catch he made in 1954. And he said he knew he was going to make that catch on the ball hit by Vic Wertz. He said he turned around, and he'd never really seen a guy who could turn like that and run. He said he could run 30 yards and he'd be right there and turn and make the catch.
Well, I was fortunate I've met Willie a few times, and he came on when I was on the Best Damn Sports Show period on Fox. Willie came on one time and wanted to talk baseball.
Ground ball right side, and Kinsler makes the pickup.
And the reason he came on, he used to watch the show from San Francisco, and he said, "I want to talk to Kevin Kennedy. I want to come on your show." Huh? They flew him down. He said he's the only one that knows anything on that dais about baseball.
That's how Willie is.
Yeah. Which I was the only baseball guy on the panel, but that's all right. And he told me the same story. He goes, "I wasn't worried about catching it." As I asked him, I said on TV, I wasn't worried about catching the ball. I was going to catch the ball. I just wanted to get the ball back in. I was worried about the base runners. That's why he wheeled him through like that so quickly. When you see that shot.
Well, they said, he had made, if he could make that play, he's made other plays that were as great, or some people will tell you better.
And he said that himself.
And as somebody asked him after this, "How do you rate that catch?" He goes, "I don't rate them, I just catch them."
But that amazed me that he said, "I never worried about catching that ball. I was going to catch up with the ball.
Yeah,
I knew I had to get the ball back in. There men on base."
Ground ball down to third, backhanded by Young this time, and the long throw's in time. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We are through 7, and it's 5-0 Tampa Bay. Taylor Teagarden's going to lead off for Texas. Scott Kazmir on the hill. And the pitch is away. Kazmir has given up 3 hits, a walk, and he has 4 strikeouts tonight. We had him at 85 pitches through 7 innings tonight. Pitch is high. 2 balls, no strikes, and boy, that is encouraging. The last time and the only other time he's pitched as many as 7 innings this year was the start against the Yankees at the end of July. He made 113 pitches in a 6-2 win that night.
Look at him coming off a 5-pitch inning, 9-pitch inning, a couple of 8-pitch innings.
Foul back, 2-2. Well, Kazmir just may have found his new best friend in Greg Zahn. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they're definitely in sync tonight. There's no question about that. And when there was a disagreement, Zahn went out there and made sure. He said, "You're not throwing a fastball here in this situation. Got to be the changeup."
He really worked him through that second and third 1-out situation in the 6th inning.
No, we were talking before the game. Mike Scioscia, when he caught for the Dodgers, people used to wonder, why does he keep going out there with 2 strikes, men on base? So come on, keep the game moving. And I tell you, that's what he would do. He said, we have to be sure, because there's always 2 to 3 key points in a ball game where you had better be sure and just say, you know, all right, we'll get away with this. No, if you are convicted as a catcher it's the wrong pitch, you go out and talk to that pitcher and tell him why it's the wrong pitch.
Teagarden fouls it, so we'll see another 3-2 pitch.
And that's what Mike Scioscia used to do. That's what Zahn did right there that in that 6th inning when the Rangers try to get back in the game with 2 on and nobody and 1 out. 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Teagarden leading off the inning. And another foul right back out of play on a fastball. 5-7-0 for the Rays. 0-3-2 for the Rangers. First game of the series. Fly ball center field. Upton going back. That ball's carrying to the track, and that's up off the wall. Still in play. Teagarden's going to go to third and stop there. BJ almost climbed the wall after that one.
Wow.
And Ron Washington wants it to be a home run. The umpires are going to get together and talk about it. Washington out there, and Tim McClellan wants everybody to get together to see if that ball actually went out or not.
It's a reviewable play because it's a boundary issue, a home run boundary issue. If they believe it might have gone out and came back in. This ball just kept carrying and taking off. BJ's tracking it. Let's see where it hit.
Well, they're going to rule it a home run.
Yeah, it hit. I think it hit above.
Yeah, it probably hit above
and then blue facade. Yeah, it came back down. Because otherwise, I've never seen a baseball act like that.
Yeah, that so Teagarden will get his 6th home run. Joe Madden out there to get a little clarification on that one. Well, we saw that ball, as you can see, it was out of our shot and then suddenly came straight down. So either it hit an invisible force field or it went out and then ricocheted back down inside that center field wall.
And I think it was out of our shot because it was out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have tracked right in front. You would have seen it come right off.
So that makes it 5-1.
Yeah. BJ was on the shot the whole time, and you would have seen the ball go between BJ and the wall. all of a sudden you saw it come from straight down, and no ball comes from beyond and straight down and hits 3/4 up the wall like that. So I think the umpires got that right.
So bouncer down to third. Nice play by Longoria. The throw to first. Andrus is out of there.
You know, Dwayne, too, the other thing about that, the umpires don't have to review it. If they get together and a couple of them overrule, say, no, we saw it, it went out, then that's why they didn't go and review it. They didn't have to take the time and go see the replay.
That's what that conference is all about, and at the end of the night, the idea is to get it right.
That's right, and they did.
There's Kinsler taking a pitch a little bit wide. So it's 5-1.
You're counting outs now. Scott's got you in a good position here where you're 5 outs away. Each out you can get from Scott, the better for the bullpen, especially for the rest of this series.
Texas with a run on 4 hits. A little bit wide. 3 balls, no strikes now.
I think if you see a walk here, I think you see the bullpen up behind him now, because Joe's looking at that matchup chart right there in his lineup card.
After strike 3 and 1. Let's check with Todd for a moment. Todd?
Hey, Dwayne, you were talking about his pitch count. I looked up every start in his career. Through 7 innings, 85 pitches for Kazmir, the lowest of his career.
All right. I believe you 100% on that. There's ball 4. And he's in the 100 pitch count territory right now with a man at first and 1 out here in the 8th. Time for the stay in the game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. In that bullpen, Balfour and Wheeler lead with 13 holds. Middle relievers keep their teams in the game. You too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color. Jim Hickey goes to the mound, and Grant Balfour is up right now in the Rays bullpen.
And this meeting is just for that. It's to give Grant Balfour time to get ready, and also to give Scott Kazmir a little breather and a little concentration to face Michael Young right here. Didn't miss by much on those pitches to Kinsler, but Tim McClellan's been pretty consistent all night. Pretty good pitches, but they did miss off the plate.
Well, this is as deep into a game as Kazmir has pitched this year. 7 1/3. Here's Young with a man at first. The foul right back into the screen on a fastball. They had a little something extra on that fastball.
The gun on TV said 95. So he let it fly, and he knows he's coming near the end here, that it's going to be a bullpen game, so he's going to let it go. Whatever he's got left in the tank, he's going to empty it.
And a foul ball. Another fastball, and it's 0-2.
Acted effectively because it ran up and in. His arm was sitting away. He missed location, but it was effective.
Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Toward the middle, through into center. Down to second goes Kinsler. A diving attempt by Bartlett to come up with that. But Young has his 3rd hit of the night. He is now 3 for 4. 2 men on with 1 out, a run home here in the 8th.
And Scott Kazmir just missed fielding this ball. Just right past his glove. He had the glove down. If he picks it, it's a double play.
And that's going to be it for Scott Kazmir. This is his longest outing of the year. And Joe Madden decides to go to the bullpen. Kazmir will get a nice hand for his work tonight. 7 1/3. There's the hand. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by Metro PCS. Unlimit yourself. Tonight, 7 1/3. He departs with 5 strikeouts. Walked a man here in the 8th inning. He's given up a couple of hits in this inning.
It's a good line tonight right there. 7 1/3. No earned runs on 5 hits.
And 4 strikeouts with a couple walks on the night. Responsible for a couple of men on base. And Grant Balfour is the new pitcher. On to face Marlon Byrd.
Yeah, that was an unearned home run, huh? That was a graphic issue.
Yeah, there you go.
Teagarden hit a home run with,
yeah.
You know.
That's right.
He didn't earn it because the umpires had to have a conference about it.
Well, that's as deep into a game as Kazmir has pitched since last year. Since June the 6th of last year, when he went 8 innings against Texas in Arlington. The Rays won that game 12-4.
Well, he just missed picking that ball by Young, too. He had his glove right there. Just went right by it. A little bit of double play ball.
Runners take off, throw to third. Safe. They pull the double steal. Longoria couldn't hang on to the throw. Kinsler steals third and Young into second. So the Texas Rangers, who run more than they've ever run before.
Yeah, Grant didn't make him stop. It's a good throw by Zahn. On the tag, the ball pops out of Longoria's glove. It was safe anyway. Kinsler was in there. The left hand was in there before the tag on the forearm. But he bounced off there. He didn't make him stop. And the Rangers run this year. They've got 114, now 116 stolen bases. That's third in baseball.
Foul ball back by Byrd. Fastball, and it's 2-2. That last pitch, the fastball up, was fortunately for Balfour in just enough.
Yeah.
Time up a little bit.
Bird's a good fastball hitter. He's got a short swing. You can see the way he sets up. The front arm is very flexible. He gets short to the ball. If you get way in there, yeah, you can tie him up just like anybody, but he's got a short swing. Getting that lead arm to the ball, so anything out over the plate, he can square it up pretty well. He'll exchange it out for a run here, though.
And a high foul the other way. Count still 2-2.
Yeah, those are little things you got to pay attention to everything because teams will take advantage. That's what the Rangers have done differently like never before. They run bases. I shouldn't say never before. My teams ran. We stole a lot of bases.
There you go.
I had Rafi Palmeiro. I put him on his own. He stole 22 bases. Nobody paid attention, just like that.
Oh, very close right there. And that's ball 3. So full count.
Well, that's where they've gotten Bird all night. That's plenty in. That's a good 6 inches inside. Nice frame job right there by Zahn, but it's in. Not going to fool Tim McClellan in there.
3-2. And a foul back. Bird staying alive. Garden open with a homer. Andrus thrown out. Third to first. Then the walk to Kinsler. Base hit by Young and the double steal. Second and third. 3-2. Broken bat and a looping liner. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run is in. They're going to hold Young at third. They broke the bat on him, but he got it into left over the head of Longoria. And that will make it 5-2. Run batted in, number 65 on the year for Bird.
Yep, he's been pitched in there all night long, and he just got enough of it to drop it into left field over Evans' head.
So first and third as Young was stopped at third. Andrew Jones now.
That's why with Texas you can't let them off the floor. They're just too strong of an offensive club. They can beat you with power or speed.
Jones pops it up. Foul ball. It will not be playable, however. Strike 1. Wheeler and Schultz in the bullpen. The left-handed bat of Hamilton is on deck. That's a strike. 0-2. Hamilton on deck. Chopper down to third. Longoria goes to second. They get the force there. The run scores as Young crosses the plate. Jones reaches on a fielder's choice. He'll get a run batted in. That's going to make it a 5-3 ball game.
Tough decision right here on this high hopper. Evans got a couple places. He looked at first and said, maybe I better go to second. Chopper was so high and he was playing deep. Look at he's looking at first initially, and then he says, well, I can get the lead runner, and he just does.
So Bird is forced. Jones reaches on a fielder's choice. So it's a 3-run inning, a 2-run game now.
Casimir's line, 7 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs all earned.
Josh Hamilton
4 strikeouts.
will be the hitter with Jones at first and 2 outs.
7 1/3, 5 hits.
So the 3 runs charged to Casimir.
4 Ks, 1 home run.
They'll get a runner at first base for Jones. Julio Bourbon will run, and he can run.
Well, he can fly. No question about that. And here's the tying run coming up to the plate.
So Balfour to face Hamilton. He's faced him 1 time and walked him.
We know what kind of big-time power Josh has had. Don't let the numbers fool you.
The pitch, ball 1, fastball up. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
That double steal created a couple of runs for the Rangers. They get right back in the game because they run this year. That's just good management.
That's low. 2 balls and a strike. Bourbon has been up through 10 games and he's 8 of 8 in the steal department. How about that pitch? That was pretty close.
That's pretty good, Tim. That's right at the knees, right over the plate. Boy, he doesn't miss too many, but I think he missed that one. That's a good pitch.
Foul ball back. 2-2.
That's where you're supposed to pitch. You got to be able to get that pitch right at the knees.
Foul 4 in relief of Casimir.
He should be running right here.
2-2. There he goes. The pitch outside. They're gonna get him. He's out at second base. Zahn throws out Bourbon, and that will retire the side. A big caught stealing as Zahn throws out the pinch runner Bourbon. Bartlett put the tag on him. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Florida, brought to you by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. By your local Buick, Pontiac, GMC dealers. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Well, a big caught stealing to end the top of the 8th. So it's a 5-3 game. We'll take a look at the Progress Energized defensive play. This is it.
Yeah, a good pitch for a catcher to throw on, too, because it's your glove side. The ball's off the plate. Zahn gets it down there. Bartlett coming across the bag and a sweep tag all in one motion. And the head first side, he gets him the back of the left leg before Bourbon got his hand in there.
The Energized defensive play brought to you by Progress Energy. C.J. Wilson, the new pitcher. Ben Zobrist, hitting right-handed, takes fastball inside.
You know, at 2-2, I pretty much figured he'd be going. That's what he was in there for, to try to get another run in the scoring position. You know, they gave Hamilton a chance to hit a couple of free swings there, and once it got to 2-2, you kind of figured Bourbon would be going.
That's the first time Bourbon has been thrown out trying to steal. As we had mentioned, he was perfect, 8 of 8. That's a strike for Coors Light freeze cam. Home run by Ben Zobrist as he connected in the 5th inning. A 2-run shot on the Frostproof Coors Light freeze cam. It's a 2-2 count now as he faces the lefty.
You like to get at least one back right here. A little more cushion for J.P. Howell.
Wilson, their third pitcher. Nippert, Air, and Wilson. Zobrist stays alive with that foul ball. Zobrist, Pena, and Burrell do up. Any deeper, and Zahn would get a chance to swing the bat. Fouled up the right side. So Zobrist typically battling up there against the left-hander. There's J.P. Howell in the Rays bullpen. The Yankees now have a 16-7 lead on the Red Sox. 3-2. That could be the New York Giants. And well, they're now the New England Patriots, but they started out as the Boston Patriots.
Yes, they did. It's about right score, isn't it? Wow, that's blowing up their bullpen the first night of the series.
How about that? Zobrist, very good at that. Draws the walk. Zobrist at first.
Ben's had 4 good at bats tonight. When line drive single to right in the first, he got a man over with a give him up to the right side ground ball to get Longoria to third. That was intentional, and then they hit the home run and now the walk. He just had 4 really good at bats.
So here's Pena. Carlos has a walk, a strikeout, and a home run tonight. That's a strike at the knees. Well, the Yankees have all those runs and 19 hits tonight.
That was a Brad Penny start, I believe.
Yes. It's away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I love it when I see Carlos go the other way like he did in that last at bat, that home run to left field. He's so strong.
And he takes that one for ball 2. Here is the opposite field home run.
Just carries off his bat. I know he works on that in batting practice every day. Going to left center. You know, there's really no dramatic shift on him. I think mainly because C.J. Wilson throws so hard.
And that one's fouled off his foot. Evens the count at 2-2. There's a look at all the action. That's our Rays in-game box score. That's new.
You got 5 hits in the middle there in a 3, 4, and 5 spot between Longoria, Zobrist, and Pena.
Carlos trying to walk off that foul ball.
Yeah, those are fun. Wow.
So Teagarden goes out to talk with Wilson. We'll remind you that tonight is a Cane's Furniture double strikeout night. If Rays pitchers come up with 10 or more strikeouts, you win 2 pizzas from Papa John's. Simply log on to canestrikeout.com. Get a coupon for 2 free Papa John's pizzas in the Cane's today. What we're really hoping is you don't win that tonight, because we have just the 9th inning left. And
I agree.
if they strike out the Rangers, then that would be 7. Ground ball to first, knocked down by Blaylock. hustling into second. And because of that hustle, Zobrist is in at second after Blaylock knocked it down. He realized he didn't have a play.
Yeah, Hank took a look, and because he throws right-handed also, he figured, well, I might hit Ben in the back. He's upside down there so hard. So take a look at Hank Blaylock. He knocks it down, saves a base hit, takes a peek, says, I better take the shear out. Look at Ben. I mean, he's hustling all the way. As usual, not a surprise.
So that moves him into scoring position for Pat Burrell. Pat looking for his first hit tonight. They're going to walk him with first base open. And Zahn is due next. Now here's the interesting thing. Zahn's been swinging a good bat left-handed. But he's 3 for 5 with 2 walks lifetime against Wilson.
Yeah, I don't think there's a pinch hit necessary. You got a 2-run lead, and he's very engaged in calling the game tonight. So I don't think there's a necessity to pinch hit Navarro here and use both your catchers in the 8th inning. Even though Navi's hitting 290 and had some good at bats from the right side.
So Burrell goes to first on the intentional pass.
You got to, when you have a lead, you got to think defense first.
Yep. So here's Zahn.
Might be a different story if you're down a run, and Navarro would probably be the guy, even though the matchups tell you that Zahn's done well against Wilson. That might influence Joe Madden too.
Zahn goes after the first one, pops it up foul, and Blaylock's going to make the catch. So Zahn fouls out. 2 gone. Rays Summer Concert Series by Hess Express continues tomorrow night. The Rays take on the Rangers. It's country night. Big and Rich performing the free post-game concert. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets for the Big and Rich concert on country night and the Rays and the Rangers. Gabe Kapler will pinch hit for Gabe Gross against the lefty. Two men on with 2 men out. And this one skips through Teagarden, and it hit Kapler. Kapler's hit by that pitch. Oh, wait a minute. McClellan says come back. McClellan wants him to come back. Kapler says he was hit by that pitch. So it's going to be a wild pitch. What do you think?
Let's take a look. I think it hit him on a toe.
Yep.
Hit him on a toe and skipped right underneath his lip. Let's see. Well, that's a good overhead angle right there.
So a wild pitch. And both men are in scoring position.
Take a look at that other shot again. No, take a look at that first shot, guys. When it hit the dirt, it skipped. It changed angles. That's why I thought I might have clipped him in the front of the spike right there. See? It changed angles right there. And I don't know if that's just because of dirt and there's some divots there, or it hit him in the front of the toe. It didn't hit him on top, that's for sure, if it did at all.
And you didn't see any dirt pop up.
If McClellan has that good eyes, I tell you, that's why he's rated the best home plate umpire.
Well, that's the reason he's the best.
I'm going to have to tease him later.
He's very good.
He's a good guy.
And a very good umpire. 2-0 the count. Ball 3. 3-0. And it's second and third, 2 gone. And there's ball 4. So that loads the bases. Ron Washington on the top step. B.J. Upton is due, and they have O'Day, the submarine side armor, out there. We'll be back in a moment. Tobacco-free. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com for more information. And by Amscott, you're okay with us. Back at Tropicana Field, we're in the bottom of the 8th with the Rays leading 5-3. And the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Darren O'Day is the new pitcher with B.J. Upton due up. Well, it's B.J.'s birthday, so let's see what he can do against this submarine right-hander.
Darren O'Day's done a nice job. Look at that ERA, 1.98. Batting average against is $1.91. He's going to get some sinkers and sliders from that submarine angle you're talking about.
And the first pitch is a strike.
Look at those eyes by McClellan. He didn't even have to get help on that. He just
yeah, I'm telling you. DJ takes strike 2 down around the knees. 0-2. Zobra's third, Burrell at second, Kapler at first. BJ is out on strikes. That retires the side. We go to the 9th, 5-3 Rays. the Rays. 57th appearance for JP. He'll be facing Josh Hamilton. First pitch is a strike. Hamilton was at the plate when Bourbon was thrown out trying to steal second to end the 8th. So it's Hamilton, Cruz, and Blaylock due up for Texas in the 9th. 0-2. JP worked an inning Wednesday, posting the save for Jeff Neiman. Foul ball.
Hamilton was just looking at Balfour throwing 93, 94. Now he has to come back up. He's facing JP with 78, 79. That'll mess a hitter up.
Tap foul, so he stays alive. Hamilton is 2 for 3 lifetime with a home run against JP. We'll be with you tomorrow night beginning at 6:30 on Fox Sports Florida in high definition for the second game of this series.
See Hamilton shaking his head. I'm sure he's telling himself, I got to stay back.
Down and away. 1-2.
Key guy right here with Cruz on deck. Got 26 home runs.
And he got it. Hamilton out on strikes. That's one away in the 9th.
Got him off balance to hold it bat. I know what Hamilton was saying. I got to stay back. He just couldn't do it. See his weight transfer. He's gone. Nothing left but the waving of the bat right there with one hand.
Here's Nelson Cruz. First pitch is a little low. 1 ball, no strikes.
See how hitters get fooled. He's got a delivery like he's going to throw at 95. You know?
Yeah, he does.
He had great arm speed.
And they're all the same. It's the same
look. They are.
Well, tap third base side fair. Longoria's throw on the move. Cruz is out of there. 2 gone. Wasn't 2 up, 2 down.
Wasn't it Don Zimmer that said he makes that play as good as anybody that you've seen? That's a great play coming in and all in one motion and a strike over there. That's not an easy play. Look at that. Right at the chest of Carlos Pena. All in one motion. Good concentration. Another big out.
Well, there's Hank Blaylock. First pitch is down. Howell, who has 14 saves, is trying to post his first save for Kazmir. Ooh, he just missed. Close. 2-0.
The overhead shot. Boy, McClellan, you've got good eyes. You're right.
Blaylock checked, and now it's 3-0. So wouldn't you know it, here's the guy you're trying to get for the final out. The guy who's walked only 1 time since the All-Star break. He's 3-0 here. 2 outs in the ninth. And he draws the walk. So Blaylock goes to first on the walk on 4 pitches, no less.
Never easy. As I tried to pull it up, it had the plate. Quellen's saying it was low. He knew it had the plate. He's saying the ball was low, and Zahn kind of let you know it was low because he pulled it up.
Well, here is Teagarden. Teagarden homered to start the 8th, and that got Texas on the board. He's 1 for 3. And that pitch just missed. Boy, that pitch was very close.
I thought that was right there. Let's see if it was on the inside, off the inside corner. It was.
Wow. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, it was off the inside corner.
Good cut and a miss. Now it's 1-1. Surprised that Ivan Rodriguez is not hitting here. At the strike on the inside corner.
Well, you know, it might have to do with the way Ron Washington manages. He doesn't like to use 2 catchers in a ball game when he only has 2 on a big league roster.
And that's true. But Rodriguez is 3 for 8 against JP. And Teagarden, not known for his offense, has never faced him. 1-2, and it's low, 2-2. But the point you make is the point that Ron Washington also makes about the way he manages and holding that second catcher in reserve, even when it comes down to the final out of the game.
Yeah, see, from my vantage point, I manage differently. I put him up there, and I worry about the 12th inning when it gets there, if you get to that point. But Ronnie's thinking, no, we can't do it. It's only a tie game if Pudge homers.
A 2-2 count to Teagarden.
Of course, then if somebody does get hurt in the 12th inning, if it went that far, then you don't have one of your infielders that knows how to catch, then you're in trouble.
Swing and a miss. Throw to first. Rays win. Teagarden strikes out, and the Rays take the first game of this series 5-3. The win will go to Kazmir, and a save for JP.